My name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup Misfit. Now, before I get into my panning solitaire update, I do just want to update you guys a little bit on how I've been. If you have been around for a little while, you would know that over the last few months or so, I've had this really weird cough that I just can't seem to get rid of. I feel like I can't really talk for too long without feeling like I'm losing breath and coughing and all of this stuff. So about a week ago, they decided that they were, because I finally said something again, but to a little higher up. They were going to fix the window in my office, and since then, I haven't been coughing like I have been. I've been feeling so much better in that sense. Yeah, things have been really going so much better. The last few days though, I've definitely felt like the cough coming back a little bit. I did try to film this a few times already, but I keep stopping and having to cough, which is not necessarily like the best, but I wanted to try and get through this without coughing, and I've been doing really well lately. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. So if I do end up pausing the video, it is to have a tiny little coughing fit and then I will come back. But like I said, I've actually been doing really well. There's a little crack in the window now and air is coming in and I can breathe finally. So we've been doing really well on that end. It's just a matter of parts coming in and getting this whole thing fixed. So I'm glad to know that it was only something as simple as that, but it just went on for way too long. So let's get into my update for Panning Solitaire, my Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. We know I have been working on the two brown matte shades in my eyebrows for the last, what feels like forever, but I'm pretty sure it's been like 3 or 4 months now, which definitely feels like forever. But with that, this is what the palette's looking like. And I don't know if you can actually see, but I am very happy to say that I have hit pan in this shade and this shade as of this morning. Now, the pans are extremely tiny, but of course, that is pan nonetheless. I am counting it. I am so happy and relieved to finally have pan in both of those shades. Now, there has been a few days where I wasn't wearing eye makeup. I just wasn't really feeling it, or I just wasn't really feeling all that well, to be honest. So some out of those days, some days I still wore this in the brows, but some days, most days I actually didn't. So we are, losing a little bit of usage there. So I could have hit pan a couple days ago. I could have expanded the pan by now. But honestly, it doesn't even really matter. I have pan. It is the day before this video actually has to go up, and I am so excited about it because if I hit pan the day after, I would have been happy, but I would have been like, oh my God, really? So yeah, I'm relieved because it was just a bit of a struggle to reach for those shades, to use them in my brows. I was getting burnt out for sure. Now, this shade I've talked about before. It's a little too dark on my brows. I would use it from like mid-brow to the tail. This one I would use, in the front half of my brow. This is more of the brow shade for me that I wouldn't actually mind wearing throughout my whole brow. I did try to use this as a liner one time. That didn't go over very well, but it's the first time that I've ever tried to use an eyeshadow as a liner. So it was definitely more of just not really knowing what I was doing. But I am very happy that I finally have pan in both of those two shades. I will eventually probably reach for those two shades at some point to expand the pan. Definitely not anytime soon. I am going to put those shades to rest, which means I do get to finally work on the last 3 shades in this palette, which is this one, and this one right here. Now, this shade, so it's actually 4. So I'm getting to work on doubly 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 7, and 9. Okay. So this shade right here, I don't know, I think you guys can maybe see, but there is a nice little dip going on in this shade. This is my favorite matte in this palette. I am so looking forward to finally reaching for these shades. I would pair this one with this one a lot of the time. And then even though, yes, this is a matte brown, it's definitely different from the ones I was using my brows. So I am looking forward to reaching for this one a lot more as well. And now that we're getting into springtime, focusing on these lighter shades is kind of nice at the same time. So I'm really looking forward to reaching for this palette, feeling like not the pressure like I felt for these two shades right here, and just using it as I feel. Um, yeah, I'm just really, really excited about it. Now, this is definitely not a focus shade in any project, but I do reach for it once in a while. I have reached for it a couple times more. So this is still making some progress. And I do think that this is going to be completed probably at some point this year. Now, you will be proud of me because during the Sephora sale, I did not buy a backup of this palette, which when the sale first started, it was actually out of stock. I did get a notification that it came back, and I did not place an order until the last day of the sale. So I could have purchased it, but I held off, and I figured I want to see the progress that I make on this palette between now and I believe November is when the sale rolls around again in the fall time, and kind of make my decision at that point if I'm going to purchase another palette or not. Um, I think it's back permanently. I'm not entirely sure about that. I don't think it's limited edition. So even if it's next year that I buy it, I'm okay with that. But with this shade going to be completely gone, this is going to be the last shimmer shade in this palette. And these four shimmers were my absolute favorites. So I'm really still on the fence about what I want to do. I may pick one up, but I may not. We'll have to see. So it just kind of depends on how much I use this. So even though I have to focus on these three shades here to hit pan on, once I do that, I want to see how much I just like reach for this on my own after the fact. Or, if I do reach for these, if I'm still reaching for this to use on the lid, or this one, or throw this one in the crease and mix it with them. I'm not really going to focus on these three shades too much because they're just not really like these two for sure. This one I'm still iffy about, but it's more so these shades. I want to see how much progress I'm going to be able to get in them to help determine whether or not I'm going to actually buy another palette or not. But yeah, we'll just have to see. But I am so excited to finally move on to the trio. The duo is rolled out. Once I hit pan in all three shades, this palette gets rolled out. And I do have some thoughts on what I want to do next. I'm not entirely sure where I'm at just yet. I know I still have a few months to make that decision because it's not going to take me a month to hit pan in all three shades. I know I'm going to have this in here for another few months. So we are in April. So maybe mid-year, I will be able to roll this palette out and then make a decision on what I want to do next. I believe I talked about pulling in other palettes to try and, hit pan on the remaining shades that are in those. I might do something like that. I don't entirely know yet. I kind of want to sit and weigh my options because there are a couple of things that I want to, like goals that I have for myself for my collection this year, and I'm trying to figure out how to make it all work together. So we're gonna have to see what happens in a few months. So stick around if you're interested in finding out what I'm going to end up doing. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Also, because I did not purchase that, and like I said, I did make a order at the very last day of the sale. If you want to see what I purchased from Sephora, let me know down below and I will do a little Sephora haul video. It's not gonna be much, I'll tell you. It's not much at all. So if you want to see that, let me know. But other than that, stay tuned to see where I end up with my trio next month. Maybe I will have pan in E7 because there is that nice little dip going and I do really enjoy that shade. Who knows? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. But that is it for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys all later. Bye.